The relentless Los Angeles sun hammered down on Eleanor's dilapidated sedan, each sputtering cough and wheeze a testament to her dwindling hope. Inside, rejection letters mingled with overdue bills, a stark reminder of the artistic dreams that were slowly suffocating under the weight of financial strain. She gripped the steering wheel, her knuckles white, each mile a tangible measure of her mounting desperation. The vibrant hues of her abstract canvases, usually a source of solace, now felt like a mocking reminder of the vibrant life she couldn't afford. Traffic ground to a frustrating halt on the perpetually congested freeway. Eleanor, already running, late for a crucial gallery showing, drummed her fingers impatiently against the cracked dashboard. This showing was her last chance, a make-or-break opportunity to land a lucrative commission and stave off the looming threat of eviction. She checked her reflection in the rearview mirror, her tired eyes reflecting the years of struggle etched onto her face. A wave of exhaustion washed over her, threatening to drown her in a sea of self-doubt. Suddenly, a sleek, futuristic motorcycle cut sharply in front of her, weaving through the congested lanes with audacious disregard. Distracted by her mounting anxieties, Eleanor reacted too late. A sickening crunch echoed through the air as her battered sedan collided with the high-tech machine. Her breath caught in her throat, a chilling premonition of disaster washing over her. This wasn't just a fender bender. This was a collision of two worlds, a head-on confrontation with a reality far beyond her control. Stumbling out of her car, Eleanor's gaze fell upon the figure sprawled on the asphalt beside the mangled motorcycle. Even before the helmet was removed, she knew. The bike, a symbol of innovation and boundless wealth, belonged to one man, Elon Musk. A wave of panic washed over her, threatening to drown her in a sea of dread. Her mind raced, desperately searching for an escape from the catastrophic consequences of her actions. The collision wasn't just metal on metal. It was a collision of her desperate reality with a world of unimaginable privilege. As Elon Musk sat up, removing his helmet and revealing a disoriented frown, Eleanor's survival instincts kicked into high gear. A desperate, audacious plan began to formulate in her mind, a reckless gamble that could either save her or destroy her completely. It was a dangerous game, playing with fire, but the alternative, facing the crushing weight of her financial ruin, was simply unbearable. In that split second, standing beneath the unforgiving sun, Eleanor made a choice that would change the course of both her life and Elon Musk's. The die was cast. The narrative had begun. Los Angeles, a city shimmering under a veneer of sunshine and dreams, concealed a darker underbelly of economic disparity and shattered aspirations. Gleaming skyscrapers cast long shadows over the forgotten corners where Eleanor resided, a cramped studio apartment in a district teetering on the edge of gentrification. Her world was a stark contrast to the opulent estates nestled in the Hollywood Hills, a world inhabited by figures like Elon Musk, the embodiment of technological innovation and unfathomable wealth. Eleanor, a whirlwind of fiery passion tempered by years of hardship, possessed a unique artistic vision. Her abstract paintings, bold and vibrant, captured the raw emotions and unspoken anxieties of a generation struggling to find its place in a rapidly changing world. But her talent was often overshadowed by her volatile temper and a deep-seated resentment towards the privileged elite, a resentment fueled by personal experiences and a growing awareness of social injustice. Her motivation stemmed from a desperate need to validate her artistic voice and escape the suffocating grip of poverty. Elon Musk, a figure shrouded in both admiration and controversy, navigated the world with an unwavering sense of purpose. His relentless pursuit of innovation had propelled him to the pinnacle of success, transforming industries and shaping the future. Yet, beneath the veneer of technological genius, lay a man wrestling with his own vulnerabilities and the immense responsibility that came with his position. He was driven by a desire to solve humanity's greatest challenges, but his relentless ambition often came at a personal cost. His motivation was a complex blend of visionary idealism and an unwavering belief in the power of human ingenuity. The relationship between Eleanor and Elon, before their fateful encounter, was non-existent. They existed in separate spheres, their lives unfolding on opposite sides of the economic divide. Eleanor viewed Musk as a symbol of everything she resented: unchecked wealth, corporate greed, and a detachment from the struggles of ordinary people. Musk, in turn, was likely unaware of Eleanor's existence, her struggles invisible against the backdrop of his vast empire. Their collision on the freeway was not just an accident. It was a collision of two fundamentally different worlds, a catalyst that would force them to confront their own prejudices and reassess their perspectives on life, success, and the human condition. The initial motivations driving their actions were diametrically opposed. Eleanor's impulsive decision to blame Musk stemmed from a desperate desire for self-preservation, a desperate attempt to shield herself from the catastrophic consequences of her actions. Musk, initially baffled by Eleanor's accusation, was motivated by a sense of fairness and a genuine curiosity to understand her perspective. He possessed the resources to crush her, but chose instead to explore the underlying reasons behind her behavior, revealing a depth of empathy that would ultimately challenge the preconceived notions held by both of them. The media storm raged. As Eleanor learned Musk anonymously funded her art school, guilt warring with gratitude, a witness surfaces, possessing proof of her lie, threatening to obliterate her fragile reality. This exposure risks painting Musk's compassion as naive, his act of kindness potentially backfiring spectacularly, escalating the stakes beyond imagination. Eleanor's overriding goal became one of pure, desperate survival. With each passing news cycle, the media spotlight intensified, threatening to peel back the carefully constructed layers of her fabricated narrative. The looming specter of financial devastation and irreversible public shame served as potent motivators, forcing her to cling ever tighter to her manufactured persona. However, the weight of her lie grew exponentially with each fabricated interview and carefully staged photo opportunity. Her internal conflict intensified, pitting her ingrained moral compass against the seductive allure of escaping her dire circumstances. Securing a coveted gallery deal, once a beacon of hope, now felt tainted, the potential triumph soured by the pervasive taste of deception. This created an acute sense of unease, fueling her anxiety and pushing her towards the brink of a complete emotional collapse. For Elon, the initial desire to simply understand Eleanor's motives morphed into a more complex and multifaceted objective: damage control on a grand scale. He recognized the potential ramifications of the escalating media frenzy, not only for his company's image, but also for Eleanor herself. He navigated a treacherous landscape of legal obligations and public perception, all while striving to maintain a sense of personal integrity and uphold his commitment to empathetic leadership. A significant hurdle arose in the form of his legal team, who urged him to pursue a more aggressive strategy, one that prioritized protecting his reputation above all else. This placed him at odds with his own instincts, forcing him to confront the inherent limitations of wielding immense power and influence. He aimed to navigate this crisis with grace and integrity, showcasing his unwavering belief in the possibility of redemption and the importance of offering second chances, even in the face of blatant deception. Javier, a struggling photographer perpetually on the verge of financial ruin, entered the narrative as a catalyst for further complications. Armed with irrefutable photographic evidence that clearly contradicted Eleanor's version of events, Javier saw the situation as a golden ticket, a chance to finally escape his own cycle of poverty and obscurity. He approached Eleanor with a proposition: silence, in exchange for a significant cut of her earnings from the anticipated gallery deal and any subsequent media opportunities. This threw Eleanor into a moral tailspin, forcing her to confront the true cost of her deception. Choosing to acquiesce to Javier's demands would solidify her descent into a world of lies and manipulation, potentially jeopardizing any chance of future redemption. Alternatively, confessing the truth would undoubtedly lead to severe consequences, but it would also offer a pathway towards reclaiming her integrity and rebuilding her life from the ashes of her deceit. The dynamic between Eleanor and Elon remained a study in contrasts, a silent battle of wills playing out beneath the surface. Eleanor, burdened by overwhelming guilt and crippling anxiety, actively avoided any direct contact with Musk, interpreting his deliberate silence as tacit condemnation. This fueled her paranoia, convincing her that he was secretly plotting her downfall. Musk, fully aware of the damning evidence circulating within his inner circle, made a conscious decision to withhold judgment, hoping that Eleanor would eventually find the courage to confess her transgression on her own accord. This unspoken tension created a palpable atmosphere of distrust and uncertainty, adding another layer of complexity to an already precarious situation. Their interactions were characterized by a subtle dance of avoidance and unspoken accusations, each interaction heavy with the weight of their hidden knowledge. Clara, a tenacious investigative journalist with a reputation for uncovering the truth, added yet another layer of intrigue to the unfolding drama. Skeptical of the overwhelmingly sympathetic portrayal of Eleanor in the mainstream media, Clara sensed something amiss. She began meticulously dissecting the details surrounding the accident, uncovering inconsistencies in Eleanor's narrative, and stumbling upon whispers of Javier's attempted blackmail. Driven by an unwavering commitment to journalistic integrity and a burning desire to expose the truth, Clara relentlessly pursued every lead, determined to uncover the full story, regardless of the consequences. Her investigation posed a significant threat to both Eleanor and Musk, potentially exposing the intricate web of lies, blackmail, and hidden agendas that lay beneath the surface. The fates of these four individuals, Eleanor, Musk, Javier, and Clara, became inextricably linked, their lives intertwined in a complex dance of deception, ambition, and the relentless pursuit of truth. The stage was set for a dramatic confrontation, one that would ultimately reveal the true nature of their characters and challenge the very foundations of their carefully constructed realities. The carefully constructed facade began to crumble when Clara, the tenacious journalist, published her exposé. The article, meticulously researched and damningly detailed, laid bare the inconsistencies in Eleanor's story, presenting Javier's photographic evidence and questioning the seemingly benevolent narrative surrounding Musk's response. The article went viral within hours, igniting a firestorm of public outrage and instantly transforming Eleanor from a sympathetic victim into a manipulative liar. This was the inciting incident. The carefully managed narrative had been shattered, replaced by a harsh reality that threatened to engulf Eleanor completely. Her gallery deal was immediately rescinded, and the public support that had once buoyed her vanished, replaced by online vitriol and threats. She was ostracized, her reputation ruined, her artistic dreams seemingly extinguished forever. This dramatic turn of events forced her to confront the consequences of her actions and make a critical decision: continue to perpetuate the lie or finally confess the truth and face the music. Musk, too, felt the reverberations of Clara's exposé. While the article didn't directly accuse him of wrongdoing, it questioned his judgment and suggested that he had been played by a manipulative con artist. His act of compassion was now viewed with suspicion, with some accusing him of naivete, and others suggesting a hidden agenda. His company's stock price dipped slightly, and he faced increased scrutiny from shareholders and the media alike. This incident forced him to reevaluate his approach and consider whether his initial response had inadvertently enabled Eleanor's deception. Javier, initially pleased with the attention generated by the exposé, soon realized that his actions had backfired. While he had successfully exposed Eleanor's lie, he had also revealed his own blackmail attempt, turning himself into a pariah. He found himself ostracized by his peers and facing potential legal charges. His attempt to capitalize on the situation had resulted in his own downfall, leaving him worse off than before. Clara, though vindicated in her pursuit of the truth, also faced unexpected consequences. While her article was widely praised, she received backlash from some who felt she had been too harsh on Eleanor, portraying her as a villain rather than a flawed individual. She also faced pressure from her editor to focus on more sensational stories, raising questions about the ethical implications of her work and the media's obsession with scandal. The inciting incident had set in motion a chain of events that irrevocably altered the lives of all involved, forcing each character to grapple with their own motivations, their own mistakes, and the unforeseen consequences of their actions. The fallout from Clara's article was swift and brutal. Eleanor, reeling from the public backlash, retreated into self-imposed isolation, her studio apartment becoming a sanctuary of shame and regret. The vibrant colors that once adorned her canvases now seemed to mock her, reflecting the hollowness of her existence. She faced a barrage of legal threats, adding to her already overwhelming financial woes. Her motivation now shifted from survival to simply enduring, clinging to the hope that the storm would eventually pass. A new challenge emerged in the form of Veronica, a ruthless lawyer hired by a group of investors who had lost money due to the temporary dip in Musk's company stock. Veronica, driven by ambition and a thirst for victory, saw Eleanor as an easy target, threatening her with severe legal consequences unless she agreed to testify against Musk, painting him as reckless and irresponsible. This introduced a new layer of complexity, forcing Eleanor to choose between betraying Musk, who had shown her unexpected kindness, or facing the full force of the legal system. Musk, facing pressure from his board of directors to take a more aggressive stance, found himself increasingly isolated. His initial instinct to show compassion was now viewed as a liability, with some questioning his judgment and leadership. He was forced to defend his actions, both publicly and privately, while simultaneously trying to navigate the ongoing legal challenges and protect his company's reputation. His motivation remained rooted in a desire to do what he believed was right, but he was now forced to confront the limitations of his influence and the potential consequences of his idealism. Javier, ostracized and facing legal repercussions for his blackmail attempt, found an unlikely ally in Leo, a down-on-his-luck private investigator with a penchant for uncovering secrets. Leo, recognizing Javier's desperation, offered him a deal. In exchange for information about Eleanor and Musk, Leo would help him avoid legal prosecution. This introduced a new subplot, adding another layer of intrigue to the already complex situation. Javier, driven by a desperate desire to redeem himself, agreed to the deal, setting in motion a chain of events that would further complicate matters. Clara, haunted by the unintended consequences of her article, began to question her own motivations. She witnessed firsthand the devastating impact her reporting had on Eleanor's life and began to wonder if she had crossed a line in her pursuit of the truth. She sought guidance from her mentor, Evelyn, a seasoned journalist who cautioned her about the dangers of sensationalism and the importance of empathy. This led Clara to reevaluate her approach and consider whether she could use her platform to promote understanding and forgiveness, rather than simply exposing wrongdoing. The setting expanded to include the bustling newsroom where Clara worked, revealing the pressures and ethical dilemmas faced by journalists in a media landscape driven by clicks and controversy. New alliances and rivalries formed, further complicating the narrative and raising questions about the true meaning of justice and accountability. The stakes soared when Veronica, armed with Leo's information obtained through Javier, cornered Eleanor. The evidence Leo unearthed painted Musk in a harsh light, revealing past controversies and questionable business practices, seemingly unrelated to the accident, but damaging nonetheless. Veronica pressured Eleanor to leverage this information, promising to drop all charges if she testified against Musk, effectively becoming a pawn in a larger game, orchestrated by disgruntled investors seeking to undermine the billionaire. This ultimatum forced Eleanor into an impossible position: betray Musk, potentially contributing to his downfall and further tarnishing her own reputation, or face financial ruin and possible jail time. Meanwhile, Musk found himself facing an internal rebellion. His board of directors, led by the pragmatic and increasingly hostile Charles, presented him with a choice: publicly denounce Eleanor and pursue legal action against her to salvage the company's image, or risk losing their support and potentially being ousted from his own company. This challenge forced Musk to confront his core values. He grappled with the ethical implications of sacrificing Eleanor to protect his own interests, questioning whether his commitment to compassion outweighed his responsibility to his shareholders. The pressure mounted as Charles threatened to leak damaging information about Musk's personal life, adding another layer of complexity to the already volatile situation. Clara, wrestling with her conscience, discovered a hidden connection between Veronica and Charles. She uncovered evidence suggesting that Veronica's legal pursuit was not solely motivated by the investors' losses, but rather by a personal vendetta against Musk, fueled by a past business deal gone sour. This revelation transformed Clara's perspective, shifting her focus from simply reporting the facts to actively seeking justice. She realized that she had inadvertently become a tool in someone else's agenda, and she resolved to expose the truth, regardless of the consequences. Javier, consumed by guilt and the realization that he had been manipulated by Leo, attempted to warn Eleanor about Veronica's true intentions. However, his attempts were thwarted by Leo, who threatened to reveal his involvement in the blackmail scheme to the authorities. This forced Javier to make a desperate decision, choosing between protecting himself and potentially saving Eleanor from making a terrible mistake. The subplots converged, creating a web of deceit and manipulation where everyone was playing their own game, and the lines between right and wrong blurred with each passing day. The tension reached a fever pitch as the characters hurtled towards a climactic confrontation, the outcome uncertain and the potential consequences devastating. The pressure reached its breaking point as Eleanor, teetering on the verge of perjury, experienced a seismic shift within her soul. The memory of Musk's unexpected generosity haunted her waking moments, a constant reminder of the man she was about to betray. The realization that she was merely a pawn in Veronica's ruthless game ignited a firestorm of self-reproach, fueling a desperate yearning for redemption. This inner turmoil culminated in a profound moment of self-reckoning, forcing her to confront the depths of her own moral failings and make a life-altering choice. The weight of her lie, amplified by Veronica's manipulative tactics and the looming threat of legal consequences, became unbearable. In a bold act of defiance, she reached out to Clara, the very journalist who had initially exposed her falsehood, offering to confess the whole truth in exchange for protection from Veronica's wrath and Leo's insidious influence. This courageous act marked a watershed moment in Eleanor's character arc, signifying a decisive transition from self-serving desperation to an unwavering commitment to honesty and justice. Simultaneously, Musk, buckling under the relentless pressure from his board and bracing himself for the imminent release of damaging personal information, steeled himself to make an agonizing sacrifice. He was fully prepared to jeopardize his company's hard-earned reputation and even tarnish his own public image in order to shield Eleanor from the clutches of Veronica and Charles, recognizing that her vulnerability made her an easy target. However, just as he was about to take this irreversible step, Clara contacted him, unveiling Veronica's sinister agenda and revealing Eleanor's courageous decision to come forward with the truth. This unexpected intervention dramatically altered the power dynamics of the situation, handing Musk the opportunity to not only expose the elaborate conspiracy, but also exonerate himself without compromising his deeply held principles. He realized, with a mixture of surprise and profound admiration, that he had severely underestimated Eleanor's capacity for growth and change. He understood that his initial act of compassion, far from being a naive misjudgment, had unwittingly triggered a series of events that would ultimately lead to the complete unraveling of the entire nefarious scheme. The stage was now impeccably set for a climactic confrontation of epic proportions, a final showdown between the forces of truth and the insidious powers of deceit, with the destinies of Eleanor, Musk, and all those entangled in their complex web hanging precariously in the balance. The atmosphere crackled with anticipation, the tension palpable as the characters braced themselves for the ultimate showdown. Clara, acting on Eleanor's information, meticulously gathered evidence to corroborate her claims, working tirelessly to build an airtight case against Veronica and Charles. She partnered with Evelyn, her seasoned mentor, who provided invaluable guidance and resources, helping her navigate the complex legal and media landscape. Their investigation uncovered a network of shell corporations and offshore accounts, revealing the extent of Charles's financial machinations and Veronica's involvement in past cases of corporate sabotage. This alliance between Clara and Evelyn, forged in the pursuit of justice, provided a crucial counterweight to the forces arrayed against Eleanor and Musk. Meanwhile, Musk, leveraging his vast resources and influence, quietly launched his own investigation into Charles and Veronica. He enlisted the help of trusted advisors and cybersecurity experts, uncovering evidence of their illegal activities and building a parallel case to present to the authorities. He made a strategic decision to remain silent publicly, allowing Clara's investigation to gain momentum and build public support for Eleanor's eventual confession. This calculated move allowed him to maintain the element of surprise and prepare for a swift and decisive strike against his adversaries. A minor confrontation occurred when Leo, sensing that the tide was turning against Veronica, attempted to blackmail her, threatening to expose her illegal activities unless she paid him a substantial sum of money. Veronica, however, refused to be intimidated, revealing that she possessed compromising information about Leo's past, effectively neutralizing his threat. This brief but intense standoff highlighted the ruthlessness of both characters and foreshadowed the lengths to which they were willing to go to protect themselves. Javier, consumed by guilt and a desire to atone for his past actions, secretly provided Clara with additional evidence, corroborating Eleanor's claims and further strengthening the case against Veronica and Charles. He risked his own safety to do so, knowing that Leo and Veronica would not hesitate to silence him if they discovered his betrayal. This act of courage marked a significant step in Javier's redemption arc, demonstrating his willingness to put himself in harm's way to right his wrongs. A small subplot was resolved when the investors who had initially hired Veronica, realizing that they had been manipulated by Charles, withdrew their support and publicly denounced his actions. This defection weakened Charles's position and paved the way for his eventual downfall. The stage was now set for the climactic confrontation, with Eleanor, Musk, Clara, and Javier poised to reveal the truth and expose the conspiracy to the world. The tension reached a fever pitch as the characters prepared for the final showdown, knowing that the outcome would determine their fates and shape the future of all those involved. Subtle clues and hints were dropped, foreshadowing the explosive revelations and unexpected twists that would unfold in the climactic moments of the story. The relentless march of time amplified the pressure bearing down on Eleanor, each tick of the clock drawing her closer to her public confession. Veronica, sensing her imminent downfall and fueled by a potent cocktail of desperation and resentment, launched a final, venomous assault. She threatened to expose Eleanor's deeply personal and long-suppressed struggles with mental health, meticulously crafting a narrative that would portray her as emotionally unstable and inherently unreliable. This calculated, last-ditch maneuver was designed to irrevocably discredit Eleanor's impending testimony and thoroughly undermine her credibility in the unforgiving court of public opinion. The emotional stakes skyrocketed, pushing Eleanor's already frayed resilience to its absolute breaking point and forcing her to confront the demons that had haunted her for years. The threat of having her most vulnerable moments weaponized against her tested her strength and determination like never before. Simultaneously, Musk found himself battling a multifaceted assault on both his professional and personal life. Charles, in a final act of defiance fueled by a potent mix of desperation and malice, initiated a clandestine operation to sabotage his company's critical systems and release a trove of damaging, highly confidential information to the public. Musk was forced to juggle an impossible array of responsibilities, safeguarding his company from imminent collapse, providing unwavering support to Eleanor as she prepared to face her accusers, and meticulously preparing to expose the intricate web of lies and deceit that Charles and Veronica had so carefully constructed. This ultimate challenge pushed Musk's leadership skills and his personal resolve to their absolute limits, demanding that he make a series of high-stakes, split-second decisions that carried potentially devastating consequences for everyone involved. The carefully woven narrative threads began to converge as Clara, working in seamless coordination with Musk's dedicated team, engaged in a frantic race against time to gather incontrovertible proof of Charles's extensive illegal activities and Veronica's elaborate manipulations. They understood that they had to act swiftly and decisively before Veronica could succeed in irrevocably damaging Eleanor's reputation and Charles could inflict irreparable harm on Musk's company and its stakeholders. Javier, racked by the gnawing fear that his past transgressions would irrevocably jeopardize Eleanor's hard-won chance at redemption, engaged in a fierce internal battle with his own conscience. He realized with painful clarity that he had no choice but to step forward and fully confess his pivotal role in the original blackmail scheme, regardless of the potentially dire legal consequences and the inevitable public scorn that would follow. He steeled himself to deliver a complete and unvarnished account of his actions, knowing that it was the only path towards true atonement for his past mistakes and the only way to genuinely contribute to Eleanor's pursuit of justice and a chance at a new beginning. The stage was now meticulously and irrevocably set for the explosive climax. The key players stood poised on the very precipice of a final, transformative showdown, the culmination of all their individual struggles, their sacrifices, and their hard-fought triumphs. The carefully intertwined narrative threads, years in the making, converged at a singular explosive point, promising a resolution that would not only determine their ultimate fates, but also reveal the profound and enduring power of compassion, the transformative potential of forgiveness, and the enduring human capacity for redemption. A hush descended upon the courtroom as Eleanor, standing before a phalanx of assembled media representatives and a globally captivated audience tuning in from every corner of the world, commenced her long-awaited confession. With a voice that initially trembled with a mixture of trepidation and lingering self-doubt, she meticulously recounted the harrowing events surrounding the accident, openly admitting her initial impulsive lie and painstakingly detailing Veronica's subsequent, manipulative machinations. As she continued to speak, her voice gradually gained strength and conviction, her unwavering honesty cutting through the years of accumulated deceit like a beacon of truth piercing through the darkness. The unfolding revelation sent palpable shockwaves of disbelief and astonishment throughout the room, effectively silencing the previously incessant murmurs and holding every single listener spellbound by the sheer force of her courageous testimony. Concurrently, Clara, armed with a mountain of irrefutable evidence meticulously gathered over weeks of tireless investigation, publicly exposed Veronica's long history of ethical transgressions and Charles's extensive network of illegal activities. She presented the damning evidence directly to the relevant authorities, triggering a series of immediate arrests that effectively shattered the carefully constructed facade of respectability and moral rectitude that Veronica and Charles had so diligently cultivated over the course of their careers. The dramatic and public exposure of their nefarious misdeeds brought a profound sense of catharsis and long-awaited vindication to those who had been wronged by their actions, restoring a measure of faith in the often elusive power of justice to prevail, even against seemingly insurmountable odds. In a move that defied all expectations and stunned both his supporters and his detractors, Musk publicly offered Eleanor his complete and unconditional forgiveness, wholeheartedly praising her exceptional courage in openly admitting her mistakes, and offering her a unique and transformative opportunity, a prestigious commission to create a large-scale mural for his company headquarters, visually depicting the enduring themes of forgiveness, the transformative power of redemption, and the boundless possibilities inherent in second chances. His act of unexpected and extraordinary generosity effectively silenced his remaining critics and firmly cemented his reputation as not only a visionary leader, but also a deeply compassionate and remarkably understanding human being. The culmination of the various subplots occurred as Javier, inspired by Eleanor's remarkable act of bravery and her unwavering commitment to the truth, bravely confessed his own crucial role in the original blackmail scheme, willingly accepting the full weight of the legal consequences of his actions and sincerely seeking forgiveness for his past transgressions. His open honesty, though undoubtedly painful and fraught with risk, allowed him to embark on the arduous but ultimately rewarding journey towards personal redemption and a chance to rebuild his life from the ground up. The dramatic courtroom saga drew to a definitive close with the formal conviction of both Veronica and Charles, bringing a satisfying sense of closure to the central conflict and successfully resolving all of the outstanding legal issues. The thematic resolutions powerfully reinforce the story's core messages, driving home the vital point that while everyone is inevitably prone to making mistakes at some point in their lives, it is the choices we actively make after those mistakes that ultimately define who we are and what we stand for. That forgiveness is an unparalleled force capable of healing even the most grievous wounds and repairing the most fractured relationships. And that true and lasting redemption is always a tangible possibility, regardless of the nature or severity of one's past transgressions. Now take a moment to carefully consider the powerful themes of forgiveness and the transformative potential of second chances that have been so thoroughly explored throughout this captivating narrative. What specific choices can you actively make today to genuinely embody these essential principles in your own daily life? How can you consciously extend compassion and understanding to those who have wronged you in some way? And how can you proactively learn from your own inevitable mistakes to create a better, more fulfilling, and more meaningful future for yourself? and for those around you. The power to change the narrative lies within each of us. Decades later, Eleanor stood bathed in the warm glow of the setting sun, gazing upon her magnum opus, the colossal mural that adorned the grand lobby of Musk Industries headquarters. More than just a breathtaking work of art, the mural served as a powerful and enduring testament to the unlikely intersection of two vastly different lives, a vibrant celebration of the profound potential for forgiveness and a poignant symbol of the boundless capacity of the human spirit to triumph over adversity. For Eleanor, the mural was a deeply personal reflection of her own arduous journey, a constant reminder of the profound mistakes she had made, the transformative lessons she had learned, and the ultimate redemption she had miraculously achieved. She had blossomed into a celebrated and widely respected artist, using her hard-earned platform to passionately advocate for social justice, champion the cause of marginalized communities, and inspire countless others to confront their own personal demons and overcome the seemingly insurmountable challenges that life inevitably throws their way. As she often reflected on the pivotal events that had irrevocably shaped her destiny, she never ceased to marvel at the unexpected and deeply meaningful friendship she had forged with Elon Musk, a bond that transcended their vastly different backgrounds and circumstances. She cherished the invaluable lessons she had absorbed about the immeasurable power of compassion, the crucial importance of unwavering honesty, and the truly transformative potential inherent in granting and receiving second chances. Musk, forever changed by the crucible of the experience, continued to guide his groundbreaking company with unwavering vision and uncompromising integrity. However, he also evolved into a powerful and highly vocal advocate for corporate social responsibility, leveraging his considerable wealth and unparalleled influence to champion a diverse array of charitable causes and passionately promote ethical business practices across the globe. He remained a steadfast friend and trusted mentor to Eleanor, frequently seeking her invaluable advice on matters pertaining to both the world of art and the broader realm of social impact, recognizing her unique perspective and her unwavering commitment to making a positive difference in the world. He often acknowledged that the infamous accident, while initially a source of immense conflict, widespread controversy, and potential financial ruin, had ultimately led to a far greater understanding of the complexities of the human condition, fostering a renewed and deepened commitment to striving towards a future where compassion, empathy, and ethical conduct were paramount. Now, as the credits roll and the curtain falls on this extraordinary tale of unlikely friendship, profound forgiveness, and the transformative power of second chances, consider the enduring lessons that have been so vividly illustrated. What concrete steps will you commit to taking in your own life to actively foster empathy, proactively practice forgiveness, and relentlessly strive to create a more just, equitable, and compassionate world for all? The arduous but ultimately rewarding journey towards a better future, a future defined by understanding, acceptance, and unwavering kindness, begins with a single, conscious step forward, a deliberate choice to fully embrace the core values that truly matter. Remember, even the smallest and seemingly most insignificant act of genuine kindness can generate a powerful ripple effect, positively transforming countless lives and inspiring unwavering hope in even the darkest and most despairing of times. The power to change the world, one act of compassion at a time, lies within each and every one of us. Will you answer the call?